Hello everybody, you were listening to Feed Your Mind, and so the clip I'm about to play for you speaks for itself. This is a rare clip that is very hard to find, so make sure you share this video while you still can. And so let's play the clip, and then after the clip I'll add some commentary.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and we didn't go there, and because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
And so I'm sure some of you are in disbelief of what you just heard, and you might want to make an excuse for him like he misspoke or something. But regardless of all of your excuses, this is just the icing on the cake. And so watch my video Proof the Moon Landing was Science Fiction for a complete breakdown of why we did not go to the moon. You see, I have a whole playlist that will prove to you that the moon is not what you were told and that no one has ever landed on it. I'll leave a link in the comment section and the description box. And so if an 8-year-old can ask questions like, why haven't we been back to the moon? A simple question like that goes over most people's heads. And so I used to be like most people, and I just assumed that the moon landing was real just because that's what I was told my whole life. The programming is very effective, and a lot of you need to start waking up and start asking questions because there's tons of proof out there now. There's no excuse for it to be 2018, and the best footage we have of the moon landing is from the 1970s. We should have high definition quality footage of the moon. We shouldn't be dealing with standard definition. Where is our HD footage of the moon? Now the big question is, why haven't we been back to the moon? Well, I believe Buzz said it best. He said because we didn't go in the first place. It's pretty clear to me that the reason why they can't get to the moon is because outer space is not what you were told. Outer space is a fairy tale. It's a myth. Once you begin to research who invented outer space and when it started becoming an actual popular belief, then you will start to see that outer space is nothing more than a heliocentric pagan sun worship belief system. Have you realized that all of the planets are named after Greek and pagan gods? Have you noticed that all of the pictures that NASA gives you of these planets are obviously fakes? I suppose most of you don't realize that those pictures are fake because you never even thought to question the pictures that were being presented to you. And so I challenge you to go look up the pictures of planets right now. Go look them up and see for yourself that they're all cartoons. Scientists even admit that planets are gas giants. So they're basically telling you that these planets are actually non-physical objects. They're basically stars in the sky. You can look at the planets with your own telescopes and you will never get a picture anywhere near like a picture that NASA tries to present to you. The moon itself appears to be a solid object, but I'm going to be releasing a video that challenges that. Not only has the night sky and the day sky been seen through the moon, but also stars have been seen through the moon. And I believe I heard even maybe some clouds have been seen through the moon. And so click your notification bell so that you don't miss the video when I release it, because we're going to discuss some interesting observations I've made about the moon in a later video. So before that video comes out, let me do a little test run and see how many of you believe the moon is an actual solid object. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if you believe that the moon is a solid object or a non-solid object. And I must admit, the moon definitely appears to be a solid object, but the moon is not what we were told. So we're going to have to go into an in-depth discussion about some interesting observations I've made about the moon and whether or not it's a solid object. The solar system is not what you were told. When Copernicus and Pythagoras presented the world as a heliocentric solar system, it took a while for the world to become fully programmed and indoctrinated. So for about 500 years, no one really questioned. People began to think that the sky was some type of vast, infinite outer space. But it wasn't until around the 1940s, 1950s that the government actually got confirmation of a dome firmament structure, a hard barrier. Immediately after this hard barrier was discovered, NASA was formed and the Antarctic Treaty was formed. And so what is this hard barrier that they're trying to hide from you? Well, this hard barrier is what we've come to know as the dome firmament, what most people consider the sky. You see, the sky is literally the limit. According to flat earth research, there is a hard barrier above us, and the stars and what we have come to know as planets are all part of this dome firmament system in the sky. You cannot get past this barrier. No one can get past this barrier. And even scientists have admitted that there is something that's keeping them from getting past a certain point in the sky. And so scientists like to call this thing that's preventing deep space travel the Van Allen radiation belt, that to this day seems to be the most troubling problem that persists with space travel. The Van Allen radiation belt issue is a very serious problem because they're finding out even airplane heights from 5 to 10 miles up in the air are showing high levels of radiation. So how do you think that people are flying around in orbit much higher than an airplane, let alone going through the Van Allen radiation belt to the moon? And so you must begin to break free from your mind programming and begin to ask questions, because there's just no excuse anymore. Buzz Aldrin just said himself that he didn't make it to the moon. And so the more research you do, the more information you'll start to find. And then hopefully it leads you to the real information that NASA itself was set up in order to hide the flat earth dome firmament. And that's why no one can go to space, because space is not what we were told. One thing we definitely know is that there is some type of barrier keeping us on this earth separated from what's in the skies. There is some type of barrier containing the inhabitants of this earth. It's time for everybody to begin to ask questions. Why haven't we been back to the moon? You're telling me with 1960s technology we can get to the moon, but with millennium technology in 2018 and beyond we can't figure out how to get past the Van Allen belts and get to the moon again? If you want to help me get to a point where I can put out much more content on both of my channels, please join my Patreon group and pledge as little as $1. I'm also working on getting a 24-hour live stream going for this channel. And I have free gifts, rewards, and exclusives for all of my Patreons. And so at the very least, check out what I offer. It's at patreon.com/feedyourmind. The link is in the comment section and the description box. Don't forget to visit my Feed Your Mind pop-up shop for limited edition t-shirts, coffee mugs, and stickers and other collectible items. Please click your notification bell. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been another episode of Feed Your Mind. Thank you for tuning in. Signing off.